A beautiful afternoon to you and welcome to Global Box, your quick tour bulletin around the world on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Ido-Ekiti. Let's begin with the headlines. President Tinubu arrives in Brazil as BRICS nations to denounce Trump tariffs. Protest in Mexico over rising rents from foreigners' influx. Trump evokes Russia sanctions after largest assault on Ukraine. Joining us on Global Box this afternoon, I am Oladoyin Ayegbusi. We begin the news from Nigeria, from home, where President Bola Tinubu has arrived in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, ahead of the 17th summit of BRICS countries. The president's aircraft touched down at the Galeão Air Force Base at 8:45 p.m. yesterday night, where it was received by the commander of the base, Brazil's Deputy Minister for Africa and the Middle East, Ambassador Carlos Sergio Sabro Duterte, and the Deputy Minister for Trade, Promotion, Science, Technology, Innovation and Culture. President Tinubu is attending the summit at the invitation of President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva of Brazil on the strength of Nigeria's status as a partner country, a membership category short of full status. The partner status is an upgrade from its previous guest status, which the country had enjoyed over the years. Hundreds of protesters marched through the Mexican capital yesterday denouncing gratification caused by foreigners, with some vandalizing businesses and shouting gringos out. The demonstration in the capital's central area turned violent when hooded individuals smashed windows, damaged restaurant furniture, and looted a clothing store. Mexico City Government Secretary Castle Cravioto said 15 businesses and public facilities were damaged in what he called xenophobic expressions, similar to what Mexican migrants have suffered in other countries. Neighborhoods like Roma Condesa have, since 2020, amid the COVID-19 pandemic, seen an influx of foreigners, mostly young Americans working remotely and attracted by lower living costs. Their arrival has driven up rent prices considerably, forcing Mexican residents to move to more affordable areas. Still in Mexico, 2 men were charged yesterday in connection with the discovery of 383 corpses piled up in a private crematorium in northern Mexico's Juarez. According to the local prosecutor's office, the crematorium's owner and an employee face charges related to the burial, exhumation, and respect for corpses and human remains. Hundreds of bodies were found piled up in the building in late June, with authorities estimating some remains had been there for up to 2 years. Officials initially counted 381 bodies before finding 2 more. Just listening to Global Box on Adamimogo 107.7 FM. Coming up next, Trump evokes Russia sanctions after largest assault on Ukraine. Please join us again.
The Nigerian army has taken custody of 2 of the...
Get ready to dive into the latest headlines,
Nigerians deported from the United
in-depth stories, and breaking updates that matter to you.
To face the challenge to be able to fulfill the dream and the aspiration.
From local events to global affairs, we've got you covered. Stay with us as we unravel the stories shaping our world today. This is Adamimogo 107.7 FM News.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us again. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook via Adamimogo 107.7 FM Ido-Ekiti. For happenings around your news and inquiries, please contact our newsroom on 0915 786 8095. Now to the rest of the news. Rescuers are desperately searching for at least 20 girls missing from a riverside summer camp after torrential rains caused a catastrophic flash flood that killed at least 24 people as it swept through south central Texas. Care Country Sheriff Larry Lerta reviewed this at an evening press conference as rescue teams scrambled to locate stranded residents in the region northwest of San Antonio. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick said at a previous news conference that some of the dead were children. US President Donald Trump has revealed that Russia just wanted to keep killing people and hinted at sanctions after Moscow launched its largest ever drone and missile attack on Ukraine in the three-year-old war. Trump yesterday said he is very unhappy about his telephone call with Russian leader Vladimir Putin, saying Putin wants to go all the way, just killing people, adding that it is not good. The US president said he and Putin talked about sanctions a lot and that he understands that Putin understands that it may be coming. Hours-long Russian bombardment sent Ukrainians scrolling for shelters across the country and came after the call between Trump and Putin, which ended without a breakthrough. Journalists in Kyiv were said to have heard drones buzzing over the capital and explosions ringing out throughout the night as Ukrainian air defense systems fended off the attacks. And finally on sports, Galatasaray have scheduled a crucial meeting with Victor Osimhen next week as the Turkish champions push for a blockbuster move for the Nigerian striker from Napoli. According to reports, the Yellow Reds will hold face-to-face talks with Osimhen either in Nigeria or Europe to determine if the 26-year-old is willing to join from the Serie A club. With his release clause no longer valid, the Turkish club will need to reopen negotiations with Napoli if Osimhen agrees to the move. The Nigerian international is Galatasaray's top target, and his decision will shape the club's entire transfer strategy. If he signs, they will focus their remaining transfer budget on strengthening other areas. If not, funds allocated for him could go towards other positions. And with that sports story, we end this edition of Global Box on Adamimogo 107.7 FM. Just before we go, the highlight again. We told you that President Bola Tinubu of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has arrived in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, ahead of the 17th summit of BRICS countries. We also told you that hundreds of protesters marched through the Mexican capital yesterday denouncing gentrification caused by foreigners, with some vandalizing businesses and shouting "Gringos out." Finally, we reported that US President Donald Trump said Russia just wanted to keep killing people and hinted at sanctions after Moscow launched its largest ever drone and missile attack on Ukraine and the three-year-old war. And that's Global Box this afternoon on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Olojudo's Palace, Ido Ekiti. On behalf of the production crew, I am Ola